I had a coach from Yugoslavia. I was in the junior team and he goes, "Hey Keshi, I want you to wear number 4. I look at him and said, how does he know that I'm contemplating on which number to wear? I said, Coach, you said number 4? So I just picked number 4. And the number 4 jersey, I wore it throughout my career. In Anderlecht, in Strasbourg, in my club, Nigerian Bank in Benin, anywhere I play, it became part of me, to the point that one of my sons, if he's playing, he wants to wear number 4. My daughter, if she's playing, she wants to wear number 4. So it's a number that it's just, I have to have it.
Stephen Okechukwu Keshi, the man popularly known as the Big Boss, is one of the most iconic figures in African football, having paved the way for indigenous players to plow their trade overseas and also set the mark very high in terms of achievement for indigenous coaches and players with his many silverware and records. Today on Sport Titans, we will take a journey back to where it all started for him and how he was able to overcome adversity to become the most iconic role model in football. Welcome to Sports Titans. The man Stephen Okechukwu Keshi was born on the 23rd of January 1962 in the small town of Azare in Bauchi State, Nigeria. And when his parents relocated to Lagos, he went on to attend St. Phoebe's College in Akoka. He subsequently received his high school certificate at St. Gregory's College, Lagos. Initially, his parents opposed the idea of playing football professionally until an uncle took them to watch the young Keshi in a novelty match.
He got into football while he was at St. Phoebe's College, Akoka, here in Lagos. And his father was hugely against it. And he has to be running to his uncle every time and telling the uncle, I want to play football. I also want to go to school. And that is how he got into football. And he said, okay, the uncle said, I will encourage you. The uncle is still alive today, and I think that if we talk about him, I think everybody saw him when even Keshi was buried. So he encouraged him, and he said he made one profound statement that there was a day he was playing St. Phoebe's against either Igbobi College or one of the schools in the final of the Lagos Principal's Cup. And then when he came, the uncle brought the father. The uncle brought the father to come and watch him. And they were sitting in the stands and he started fidgeting. He didn't know what to do. This is first hand story from him. May so rest in peace. First hand story, and he started fidgeting. This is my father, I'm dead today. And after some time he recovered. He said, what would be with me? So he went on and scored a fantastic goal. I think he said he won 2-1. He started jubilating and jumping. He was the captain of the team and everything like that. And the younger brother to the father says, that is your son. That's and since that day, the mother and the father said, anything you want to do, go ahead and do, including football. And I think that is how he got into football.
I was very young when I first saw Keshi play for the Greater Tomorrow here in Surulere, because the Greater Tomorrow team were actually the privileged team that would train in inside the main bowl of the National Stadium, although Keshi was also a member of the St. Phoebe's College at that time. And from primary school, I used to come and watch them when they play inside the then UAC Stadium, which is now Teslim Balogun Stadium. I followed Keshi's career he was a very, very bright talent. Became one of the leading players in the under-20, the maiden under-20 team that started playing at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. And following his career, I think I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Keshi. He was a very big figure in Nigerian football. Even when he was playing at that youth level, he commanded that respect from all his fellow players, and all of those that were even behind him would admire and want to be like Keshi.
His professional career started at ACB Lagos in 1979 before joining the then powerhouse in Nigerian football, the new Nigerian Bank FC, the following year. In 1985, he was signed to Ivorian club Stade d'Abidjan before moving to African sports, where he was being spotted by Belgian club Le Coren, and then went on to play for Anderlecht in 1987, the club he was most synonymous with.
Anderlecht there was one of the best teams in Europe. I mean, if you count up to 3-5 teams, Anderlecht was there. And then was much harder because you could only have 3 foreigners to play in any team in Europe. And also, you could have like 6-7 foreigners, but you only allowed 3 or 2 foreigners. And that's where I'm somewhat proud of myself, because every weekend, I mean, yeah, I was regular. At the point, I became captain. So, Anderlecht was very great memory in Europe. Yeah.
Strong player, athletic player, and also sympathical, big charisma. He was really nice, very, very strong, good football player, and also good character in the team. He was in good connection and collaboration with everybody, also with the board, with myself, with the coach. He was really a very, very nice, big, good player.
He had short spells at RC Strasbourg, RWDM, CC Hydra in 1995. He went to the MLS in 1996 with the Sacramento Scorpions, and in 1997 he joined Malaysian side Paulins FA before he was forced into retirement in 1998 due to a niggling knee injury.
He had a historic club career, historic as in, at the point, if you recall, we couldn't win the Waffle Cup for club sides until Keshi started to captain Nigeria Bank, and then they won it back-to-back 3 times. They retired that trophy, won it the 4th time. That is when he started.
He started playing for New Nigerian Bank, which was one of the best teams in Nigeria at that time, with Samson Uzugula, Brighton Makaru, and the rest. So those were the then good players of that time, and with Keshi's command, they went a long way. They brought football back into the then Bendel State, and it was really, really something to write home about.
Then it got to a point that Stephen Keshi was banned under the late Air Commodore Tony Kazuo, because himself, Eboigwe, 1010, and a couple, Humphrey Dubo and Co didn't come to camp on time. About 5 of them, if you recall, they said they should not, they are banned. And that was under also my uncle Patrick Okoma, when he was Secretary General of the they said they came late from Benin because they were resting in Benin and all that. And then when they came back, to the Super Eagles here in Lagos again, they said no, they cannot play. And Keshi, in his usual candor and leadership quality, said, well, it's okay. They were banned for at least 1 year or thereabouts. I can't remember the number of years that they were suspended. And Keshi said, okay, if I cannot do it, let me go abroad. And so that's how I went to Cote d'Ivoire started with an Ivorian club side, and he started playing. Once he got there, they made him captain again. I think he stayed Malian. I'm not too sure the name of the club now, but I knew that once he got there, Keshi became captain on that club side.
I look for intelligence, and I look for dedication. I look for performance, because I didn't want a captain that would be on the bench. I considered all those things and decided that Stephen Keshi would be the captain of the team, and he was an effective captain.
It was time for him now. He is champion from Africa with a club side. Now he's champion with a country from Africa. He's a good player.
He actually broke into the national team just at the right time when Christian Chukwu and the rest were retiring, and coming back from the Under-20 World Cup. Keshi was really big in everybody's lips at that time, and his talent was second to none in Nigeria. The respect he commanded on and off the field was unbelievable. Graduating into the national team was kind of automatic.
Amazing, simply amazing. Because you see, if you have not worked with Keshi closely, you will not know the character of the person we lost. I still shed tears every time I remember him, because he's an amazing character. He has a large heart. He's a leader with a passion for Nigeria.
People want to talk about football. I want sometimes to not to talk about it, think about it. I don't even want to see it. I just want to do something different, but to come back again.
Keshi has been part of the coaching staff for the Nigerian national team. Most notably, he has the head coach of the Junior Eagles at the 2001 African Youth Championship, which also served as qualification for the 2001 FIFA World Youth Championship without any success. Between 2004 and 2006, Keshi coached the Togo national team, surprisingly bringing them to their first World Cup tournament, talking about the Germany 2006 World Cup.
He was a majestic captain. He was playing with painkillers. And the first game against Bulgaria at the USA 94, he didn't play. The second game against Greece, he played and they won. And he told Clemens Westerhoff, I must always play. And that was where he had a fallout with Clemens Westerhoff. And Clemens Westerhoff said, hey, Igbo boy, that's the language. Become a big coach soon. Because you on the pitch, you talk to the players, I don't get no job to do. That was how Clemens Westerhoff so much relied on him, even to pilot the idea and the character of the national team. Clemens Westerhoff just was fantastic with Keshi. They worked together like 5 and 6.
I think for me it was flawless, because him retiring at the 90 from the national team at the 94 World Cup, qualifying to be a coach and coming back, handling Togo, Mali, then coming to Nigeria. For me, it was flawless. Although I had a lot of questions when he was coach of Nigeria, but for Christ's sake, he achieved one of those things that nobody has ever achieved in Nigeria. He won the Nations Cup for Nigeria as a coach. He won the Nations Cup for Nigeria as a player also. So we cannot deny Keshi, those achievements.
Big Boss was a coach even on the pitch while he was playing. However, what again he told me was that, when he went to Malaysia to start playing in a Malaysian club, first division, he became captain and player. Coach, player, captain. It was massive for him. And he did 3 seasons. And the man wanted him to continue. And he said his knees were failing him. No, he told me. He said his knees were failing him, and he told the man brought an improved contract that is almost double what he was earning. So he now told the man, mentioned his name, I cannot immediately remember. And he said, "Sir, I can't continue. I want to go." The man said, "Okay, take." Gave him money, and then he went to the US. And immediately they got to the US, the MLS was just starting. And the wife said, "Why not just stay here? Where are you going to again? There's the money you have, you can buy a house, apply to the citizens and all that." And he applied and he was granted and he became a citizen, and he started attending small training sessions with the daughter, the first daughter. That is how he got into coaching. This is what he told me. He started attending coaching with his first daughter. So when he gets there, he just trains them, plays with them, and they said, one day the daughter said, "Daddy, you can become a coach. Why after all your serious playing career, what are you wasting your talent on? You can become a coach." That's how he started a coaching course. And then he got a B license, FIFA, before he knew it. He was in Togo. He was in, I think, Mali first. Togo first, then Mali, and then Nigeria. And so, and then, this, it's just that we don't recognize our own. This, he achieved greatly.
The only Nigerian that has won the Nations Cup, both as a player and as a coach, and arguably the only black man who has won it. I know there's another not an Egyptian, but he's not black, who has won the Nations Cup, both as a player and as a coach. And so history will always be kind to the man Stephen Keshi, for that. Another thing also would be that he's the one who first qualified the Togo for the first ever World Cup, even though he didn't go eventually, but he did deliver the works, everything in the entirety to make sure that they qualify for the World Cup. So I have very fond memories of Stephen Keshi.
It was glorious. And you see, the big boss will always tell you one thing, that he started from Nigeria, and so his program was simple: give me home-based players. I can pick players from here who can become superstars sooner than later. So what we were doing, or what he was doing, was asking the Nigerian national to open camp in Christmas, New Year, we were in camp.
Having secured Togo's unlikely qualification, he was promptly replaced by German coach Otto Faisal prior to the World Cup finals, after he had fallen out with the biggest star of Togo, talking about the man, Emmanuel Sheyi Adebayo. After Togo showed a dismal performance and failed to advance past the knockout stage at the 2006 African Cup of Nations in Egypt, Stephen Keshi was promptly replaced by Faisal. However, Faisal did not last beyond a controversial World Cup campaign that nearly resulted in a player's strike over pay, and Togo remained without a manager until 2007 February, when they re-engaged Durosimi-Etti in time for a friendly against Cameroon. He worked as manager of Mali national team after being appointed in April of 2008 on a 2-year deal. Keshi was sacked in January of 2010 after Mali's exit in the group stages of the 2010 African Cup of Nations.
Some player wants to be the god of the team, and he doesn't train, he doesn't come to the training camp. All this problem came from nowhere. These are things that we never experienced when we were playing for qualifiers.
It was torrid, it was turbulent, it was because you see, Africa, we have the same character, I must say, because he gave me an instance that when he got to Togo, they were worshipping Emmanuel Adebayo. He's a Nigerian, and he told them that you cannot worship this boy. If you worship this boy, you have killed the national team. And he gave them a specific instruction that If by 7 p.m. all the players, 7 a.m. I beg your pardon, all the players are not on the training pitch, then you are not training. So on a particular occasion, Emmanuel Adebayo came because he was part of the problem that he had in Togo, because he said he didn't want him. That's why he didn't go to Germany, for the World Cup. And Emmanuel Adebayo came to the World Cup. To training, and by which time training has started. And he said, no, you cannot train. Sorry, you cannot train today. Maybe you go back and start preparing. He brought his car, brought everything. He said, no, it's not. This is Stephen Keshi. I played football at a higher level than you, so you cannot train today. And Adebayo was angry. He said, you are a Nigerian boy. We have rules and regulations in football. And so if you come late to training, you are not training today. Sorry. He went and started talking to the Federation President. Keshi is too this, the heart is too that, is too this. And he said, when he got back to the hotel, he went to and said, Adebayo is not disciplined. He cannot train with me. If he wants to train with me, let him come. If I say 7, let it be 7. If I say 8, let it be 8. So what is he complaining about? Don't you people have rules here? If you invite me to a meeting for 9 a.m., don't I come? So why should a player that, because he's playing fast now, he's not training? In any case, he's not even going to play. I have better players than him. And he said as at that time he had 5 Nigerian players born of Nigerian blood who were in the Togolese national team. So if Adebayo is feeling that he's more Nigerian than him, so he's not going to play that. These players are even more dedicated. If he says 7, they are there. The federation started saying it's too harsh, it's too this, and then they brought a certain German and then made him coach after he had qualified the team.
I don't want to be right. I don't want anybody to think I'm right. It's just that if I see a quality player, I will take him.
Keshi became a coach of the Nigerian national team in 2011. He led Nigeria to qualification for the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations, which they went on to win, defeating Burkina Faso 1-0 in the final.
Advantage for Rumela Pelea, Quatoko, Interessante Montaselo. It's like a Sunday
The following day, Keshi handed in his resignation, only to reverse his decision the day after. Keshi led Nigeria to the 2013 Confederations Cup, defeated Tahiti 6-1, and lost to Uruguay 1-2 in the second game, and also went on to lose 3-0 to the World Cup winners Spain in their final group game. On the 16th of November 2013, Keshi's Nigeria secured qualification to the 2014 World Cup by beating Ethiopia 4-1 on aggregates in the playoff. Keshi set a record in African football by being the first African coach to successfully qualify 2 African nations, Nigeria and Togo, to the World Cup finals. He also helped Nigeria become the first country to achieve an Africa Cup of Nations trophy and a World Cup qualification, both in 2013.
Unfortunately, I had qualified 2 teams before, but I never got to the final stage.
I recall that there was a time with the home-based national team that got the bronze medal in Chan. He walked out of the training because what he was teaching them they were not doing. He took Amogachi and some of us to convince him, Robinson Okosu and Co, to convince him to return to training. He said, look, if I'm telling you this is the pattern I want to play, he has his own special pattern. Unfortunately, we lost a gem that we don't even know. Say negative things about him, but I see him as a fantastic coach and a brother.
Isn't this bringing in player, you guys don't understand, it's not about the footballistic side of it. It's about the complete player that we need. You can be an excellent player, but you also divide the house. And I will not take a player that will break the team when we know there's unity. We look you to bound to have that unity. I don't care if you score 20 goals a game and you have to cause confusion. I will take you out. We need a team. in and off the field. So whatever, if you see a player that has this quality, can lead the team, help the team to grow, sure, he will be part of the team. But you know, many are confused are choosing. We only have 23 players to go to World Cup. You can't take 100 because it's not only Nigeria playing the World Cup.
Should we actually be talking about that, because Keshi is not here now? But if we are talking about it, there were so many errors. But those errors, I don't want to dwell into those individual errors. The biggest ones were just, the decisions he made going to the World Cup in Brazil. We didn't have the best team Nigeria could actually produce. But then again, if you think about it, what tournament has Nigeria gone to with their best team? We've never gone to any tournament with our best team. There is one decision that has been made because of one political reason or the other. I was critical about not just Keshi but all Nigerian coaches, because the football is being affected by the political poison that's actually going on all over Nigeria now, and it's a big problem. So if a Nigerian coach is actually handling our national team, there's always the tendencies of football conflicting with the political problems, and it has always been there. Our Nigerian coaches, because politics will always bring their decisions down.
Keshi is gone now. He was a fantastic man. Let's leave that for posterity to judge.
Argentina and Nigeria are becoming like, I don't know, like a rivalry stuff. We keep playing Argentina every time they World Cup. It's good. We'll see how it goes this time. Yeah, not knowing Bosnia is a difficult thing, but they're a good team. I think I've seen them one or twice on TV. Iran, I've never seen them. But for them to be here means they're a good team.
Nigeria progressed to the knockout stage of the 2014 World Cup. The team started the tournament with a goalless draw against Iran following the 1-0 win over Bosnia and Herzegovina. The team lost the final group stage match 2-3 against Argentina, but progressed to the knockout stage courtesy of a 3-1 win by Bosnia and Herzegovina over Iran. The Super Eagles lost to France in the first knockout round. After the match, Keshi announced his resignation as Super Eagles coach, but later reversed his decision after the Nigeria Football Federation renewed his contract. His team failed to win a single game in the Morocco 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying series, as he announced he would be moving to another job if pressure continues to mount because of certain people whom he refused to name were trying to sabotage him. However, he stated that he will continue to coach the Super Eagles because he loves the team and he loves his country. And here was a private interview I had with him in the heat of the crisis.
Alright, coaching. Today, when I opened the lines on radio, a lot of Nigerians all of a sudden have turned around and they are beginning to ask for your head. What is your message to Nigerians who don't believe in you anymore and what you do right now?
Well, I don't think there was a point Nigerians believe in me or believe in the team. They were happy that we won Nations Cup. It's not that they believe in Keshi. Maybe some believe that, okay, we're doing some good job, trying to, but you know how it goes. And this is, when your team is not winning, they say it's the coach. When the team is winning, they say it's the players. So you, the coach, you're just like you are nobody there. So if they call for my head, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it happens everywhere. But they cannot call for my head. They can only call for my job. My head belongs to me. They can only call for job, but they can have it. But my head, God gave me that. It's mine, so I'll keep it.
So how difficult is it to actually work when you know that there are oppositions and adversities everywhere too?
It's very difficult. But that's a very good question. You see, I think you're the first journalist that will ask me this. I mean, that's a very intelligent question. It's tough where a lot of people are trying to sabotage what they're doing. I mean, these are the same players that I used in qualifying to World Cup, Nations Cup, won the Nations Cup. Almost 90% of them here. But what is going on today? Some people are ready to sell this nation for a dime. They don't care the consequence that comes after it. People just want to make sure that this team doesn't go anywhere. They want to run it down. They just want to sabotage the Super Eagles by making a lot of Nigerians unhappy. And they're thinking, it's Keshi. Keshi will leave Nigeria. I'm a professional coach. I will get a job elsewhere. But this is my country. This is a job I love to do. I want to give everything I can give. But it's not a do or die affair. It's something that I have to do, and that's it. But it's a shame that so many of them, they know themselves. I don't want to mention names. They know themselves that they don't want this team to go anywhere. They want this team to lose outright, not to even smell Cup of Nations. But they are not God. Inshallah Jesus, they are not God.
In July of 2015, following Nigeria's exit from the World Cup, Keshi's contract with the Nigerian Football Federation expired and was not renewed. A statement by the Nigeria Football Executive Committee said that the decision was made having thoroughly reviewed the reports and findings of the NFF's Disciplinary Committee and NFF's Technical Development Committee, as well as having reviewed the actions and inactions of the late Stephen Okechukwu Keshi in the performance of his duty as Super Eagles head coach, which NFF found to lack the required commitment to achieve the Federation's objective as set out in the coach's employment contract.
Excellence. That is Keshi's legacy. Excellence. Anything he does was excellent. As a player, he was not many people know he played in Cote d'Ivoire, Belgium, Malaysia, Italy, MLS, and became coach. Check his track record. How many Nigerians have done that? If you see any Nigerian who has done that, I will laugh at them. But there's none. He was an excellent person. That's why I say his legacy was simply excellence.
The victory at the Nations Cup, the 2010 Nations Cup, there's no winning of the Nations Cup, because coming back as a coach, there were so many critics. I was one of them. I can't lie, because there were so many things that were wrong with the team, the selection of the team in particular. But at the end of the day, he proved everybody wrong, and he won the Nations Cup. So that's one of the biggest feats a Nigerian coach has actually achieved against all odds. There were so many favorite teams, not Nigeria, because Nigeria had so many problems. But he did the impossible, and for that, Nigeria will need to stand up, and hail Keshi.
Before Keshi took us to the World Cup, or even won the Nations Cup, I wouldn't have mentioned Stephen Keshi. But he came, showed the stuff he's made of. He was able to do something unique, blended the home-based players with the foreign-based players. Had a good blend that went to the Nations Cup and shocked everyone against all odds. It's very possible. Perhaps most times I think of it, another coach that could have done it would have been the late Shaibu Amadu. Coincidentally, Amadu died shortly after Keshi died. But I think we have good coaches coming up, if given the opportunity, because in life it has to do with opportunity, and not just getting the opportunity. How prepared are you to take that opportunity? When time comes, when chance comes, and when there's opportunity, and you are prepared for those three factors, success is just around the corner. That was Keshi's case. The late Keshi had, the time was there, it was ripe, The chance was there, the opportunity was there, and he was prepared. That was why there was success just around him, and we still celebrate him right now, even in death.
Right now, in history, Stephen Keshi is a monument. You know, he's the man to beat. His record is out there. You know, to beat is, you know, anybody who comes close would have even done very well, let alone who is able to surmount it. You know, because you know he's delivered significant milestones that, put it this way, you know, at the risk of sounding trite, but his shoes are too big, you know, to be filled. So you need somebody who's going to come and work very hard and almost be a giant to fill the shoes of Stephen Keshi.
Here I am now. I must have finished doing my work. I know I did what I'm supposed to do.
Keshi was married to his wife, Kate Nee Aburime, for 30 years. She died on the 10th of December after battling cancer for 3 years. They had 4 children.
Keshi, we know he has one wife. He had another wife. Unfortunately, his wife died before him. He's a Benin boy. He's a good man. Fantastic father to all his children. Yeah, fantastic man to all his children. All his children are American citizens as we speak. That's why we are not doing anything to say, let's raise money for Keshi's children. All of them are doing very good. They have a house there. The wife is, you know the wife's name, Kate. Kate, she's certified lawyer. Unfortunately, cancer took her away, and Keshi apparently was also didn't, you know, recover from that. But he came back. I mean, he was doing good. I think it was somebody so noble, somebody Nigeria need to respect, somebody we need to even study, because not many people know him well.
Here I am now. I must have finished doing my work. I know I did what I'm supposed to do.
Keshi had a heart attack and died en route to hospital on the 7th of July in Benin City, aged 54.
Anyway, I think it was time. It was time, and I don't know the result or the report of the autopsy, but I think it was time. When it's in life, we all submit to when God says it's time. He lived well, and that's it.